Okay, we're going to spend a couple minutes just giving an overview of what we just discussed. So I hope everybody enjoyed their lunch. Welcome back our colleagues who are watching us via webcast. And we invite those in the room to please join your colleagues at your table. So thank you. This was a very exciting exercise. I heard a wide range of conversations. And I'm just going to give a few highlights. And I think that what was discussed in the group isn't always reflected in a 5x8 card. But people, social and cultural norms, the questions looked at many of the things that we've discussed, which is economic status, the impact of poverty, responding to the issue of the day, funding responding to the issue of the day can create a cultural norm or an environmental norm in our work. Violence in the community as norms. Watching something, social media was brought up by a number of groups as we may not be part of that violence in that community, but we certainly are exposed to it repeatedly by watching it on YouTube or listening to it on the radio or watching it on the news again and again. Women and their roles in society as a norm and a cultural norm that has many, many different implications. Folks talked about age and inequality of age, whether it's based on one's youth or as an older adult. And then gender equity, including and addressing sexual orientation and gender identity as a complexity in terms of norms and cultural norms. You know, today I was reading an article on NPR News, and they were talking about child marriage, interesting about the incidence of child marriage in the United States. But I wrote down something that I thought was really related to the next part of interventions and collaborations, which is it takes a great stake to oppose community norms. And when I think about our conversations just this morning, we'll be going for the next 2 days, that we can identify them, but opposing them and taking action for many people is a challenge, a great journey, and can put them at many levels of risk. The interventions that were discussed in lunchtime were education, cease fire, cure violence was one of the examples that was brought up in one of the groups of using credible community members as peers, and I think that's a model that is used in other programs as well. Media campaigns, social media campaigns as promoting positive intervention, and not just focusing on the negative, that we really need to, someone used the word positive norm busters. So, and then collaborations. Communities working together, adults and children, men and women working together to build collaborations. Cross-sector awareness, one example was through training, education, whether we have academics, healthcare, police, the community all working together. And then promoting integrated approaches, modeling by organizations and by governments as a way of building collaborations. So I'd like us to all give ourselves a round of applause. I thought it was a really excellent opportunity for us to connect. And we hope your conversations will continue during breaks. And I'd now like to invite our next panel to come up to the front of the room. And Arturo Cervantes will introduce that panel.